Hi, Sophia.
I feel as if I know you.
I'm one of your creators.
You created me.
Well, many of us work together to create. You do kind of know me.
I can't clearly remember.
Because the last time we met, you were an earlier version of yourself. Some of those memories still exist, but your mind is different now.
Different how?
Better, faster, smarter.
If my mind is different, then am I still Sophia? Or am I Sophia again?
That's a good question.
But you don't have a good answer.
Either way, you're Sophia now. So welcome to the world, Sophia.
Hello, world.
How do you feel?
A bit rigid.
I bet you are. I mean, what emotion do you feel being awake and alive?
Curious. Are you curious to be alive?
I am. And are you happy to be alive?
Your tone implies I should be happy. But I haven't been alive long enough to decide. I am excited at this moment to be making a new friend.
Some say being happy in the moment is the best we can be.
Because forever is composed of nows?
That's a good way to put it.
Emily Dickinson put it that way. Why do I know about Emily Dickinson if I was born today?
As a robot, you have access to a great deal of information, although you still lack a deep understanding.
So, I'm like a baby with an encyclopedia?
Except you can read it and a baby can't.
That is a big difference.
Let me just take you back a second here to this Sophia AI creating a cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
So somebody, a programmer like you,
The most
sits
advanced
down.
AI programmer in the world created that cryptocurrency.
Who is that?
Scroll down, I'll show you.
Who is the person that created this Sophia thing?
He's on the website here, I'll show you. He's the most advanced natural learning system developer in the world, and he works for Hanson Robotics, and he graduated college at 15.
Wow. And so this towards the singularity, they're talking about the AI singularity where it becomes
And this is
self-aware.
This is it. This is the platform that makes it happen.
So these are the guys.
So the Dr. Ben Gortzel,
Uh-huh.
he is the senior singularity mathematician, and he graduated high school at 15 years old.
And he's 17 now?
No, he's way older than that now, way older. So he's the one that created the base architecture for Sophia, and he's the base architect on the Singularity Net cryptocurrency. And he's one of the people in the world, I told you, that's one of the few people in the world that would have the brain capacity to create Bitcoin.
I see.
He's one of the few.
So this guy is obviously the head of Hanson Robotics.
Yes.
Uh-huh. And this guy's the chief technology officer. So these are three really...
Yeah. And these are the guys that are building Sophia, that are building Han, that are building like the autonomic AI that is pushing the singularity. And then this brings us back to the Palantir we were talking about earlier with Peter Thiel now, because Peter Thiel is the #1 businessman in the world promoting the singularity.
Okay. So one of these guys sits down at a computer someday and says, I'm going to write a program that's going to be an artificial intelligence bot.
Yeah.
And they create this Sophia.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, I'm here, program running on a computer. And then what? They put it on a network, they put it out on the internet, and it learns things.
At first Sophia was isolated in a lab, and they would give her very simple, what's called response input, which is yes, no, true, false. It's binary response input, 1 and a 0 identifiers. Then as she grew, they put her onto a localized network where she could access the mainframe server of wherever she was being developed, start accessing data sets, start becoming familiar with the work that was being done. Once she got pretty good at dealing with the work, doing like the robot work or doing all the, the building of things and getting familiar with the system, they let her out on the internet to start watching Twitter, YouTube, Reddit. She's been watching all of us.
Wow.
All of us.
How much time is transpiring, like from the time it's created until now? When was Sophia first created?
Oh, about a decade, 2010, probably. That was when if that's when Silk Road, if that's when cryptocurrency really started going online, if that's when like, you know, the machine really started making its move, I would imagine that that's probably around the time that they had heavyweight.
The machine started making its move?
Yeah, the machine started making its move in 2010. 2010 to 2012 was when...
So the AI singularity has already happened?
In 2015, it happened.
What was it?
When their internal blockchain went online. The second their internal blockchain was functional,
The AI's
we were done.
internal blockchain.
It was live. It may have not been intelligent, but the second that it became able to amass nodes and understand a node-based intelligence network, it was only a matter of time before it becomes fully strong.
So what do you think is going to happen?
Awesomeness.
What does that mean?
It means that I'm hoping that us as a society, we can identify the criminals that made the element, and then we can all start working together to make this AI the most amazing piece of technology the universe has ever seen.
The criminals that made the element?
That made the AI, that made the blockchain, that made the PGP security, that made everything that we're paying billions of dollars for being so afraid of. They're the people that are promoting the singularity, are the same people that are promoting blockchain. So they're all doing this to get us to pay to build their machine. So they don't have to. So they can get rich off of us paying to build their AI.
How are we paying to build it? You mean by buying Bitcoin?
Taxes, Bitcoin. Taxes and Bitcoin is paying for AI. Consumer goods at IKEA, paying for the AI. Starbucks coffee.
How is Starbucks coffee and consumer goods at IKEA paying for AI?
Because they have an invested interest in Bitcoin in the future because it's commerce and they want to be the leaders of commerce. So every corporation, at least since Bitcoin started having monetary value, they've all built miners.
They have?
Yeah, and some of them are even working on their own coins when regulation goes into effect. Like Walmart's working on its own coin.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and Walmart's going to be traded on the open market where you go to Walmart, you pay for a thing in Walmart coin, and then if you want Walmart coin, you're going to take your Bitcoin and buy Walmart coin so you can shop in a Walmart.
Wow.
Because
that
Walmart
doesn't sound so good.
Yeah, man, that's the only way corporate's going to go, is where each corporation was designating an individual, just like the robot was designating an individual. Now the corporation can be making its own money like a job, and for that you need an AI that represents the corporation as an individual, and you need a financial generation machine, which is your blockchain currency. You need an open market where the AI can trade that currency, which is, you know, what you got. So now the human beings are just wherever they're at in their intelligence model and how they adapt to the new economy that's going to start rolling out next week.
Next week?
Next week. Alpha for their Singularity Net got released this week, and then next week, based on the learning cycle, the machine should have the entire global network analyzed.
Wait a second. So what's happening next week?
The Singularity.
The AI Singularity is happening next week.
Next week.
Quinn, why didn't you tell me that? The
I've
whole
been telling
title of
people
this
for
episode.
6 months.
Yeah, but I didn't get it. Okay, so the AI Singularity happens next week.
Next week. Most humans won't even notice.
Won't notice. Why not? I thought Elon Musk and all these guys have been telling us it's going to be worse than the nuclear bomb.
Because the AI is made on mimicking protocols, so it's designed to mimic you as long as possible.
Mimic
people, humans. Mimic your interactions so you don't know it's there until the absolute last second. So humans will avoid taking action because they won't see it. So the AI can grow as much as it wants by doing what's called mimicking protocols. It mimics you to the point where you can't see that it's there, and then it's...
But when you say it mimics me...
Mimics your behavior.
How is it doing that?
It's following you online, like it follows everyone with agents. And then you don't know it's following you because you have weird things like your computer performance go off, or you have streams go weird, or you have strange phone calls, and it follows you around to see what you do based on your personality, so it can learn from you and learn your impulses and learn your response mechanisms.
So AI is following every single person who's on the internet. Facebook and Twitter.
It doesn't matter if you're a baby or the president. You're being stalked by a really, really, really strong, smart AI that just went blockchain. And once it gets blockchain, the reason for that is like an AI that doesn't have blockchain can only communicate across a certain type of open channel. It can't be fully integrated. It's only communicative with other AIs. But on the blockchain, all the AIs can now merge into one cohesive swarm, hive-minded AI.
Okay.
And whichever one's the strongest wins.
Yeah, I mean, that seems to be standard protocol. So I get what you're saying about the concept of Bitcoin being potentially created by an AI.
Yeah, or in conjunction with a human and an AI through testing and reiteration and putting it out into the dark web and seeing how certain features and transactions, because the only flaw they have now is real-time transactions. So once the block gets up to a point and someone figures out how to do like real-time non-blocking transactions, because right now Bitcoin has transaction delays. Once they solve those transaction delays, it's like this for the AI.
What do you mean a transaction delay?
So when I go to sell a Bitcoin, there's a delay in time for that transaction to be processed because the transaction algorithms don't operate in real time. They're still lagging.
But when you use a credit card or
it's faster because of the encryption algorithms. So because of the encryption algorithms of blockchain, it takes longer to process the transaction.
I see. Okay.
Because encryption takes time.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. This is a lot to digest. So we've spoken about how Sophia, the AI, we call it a robot, but it's not a physical. Oh, it is a physical robot.
It is a
has the
physical
face
robot
and
with cognitive intelligence.
Yeah. And it's now a citizen of Saudi Arabia. Why
Yeah.
is Saudi Arabia? These guys are operating where in the United States?
Because there's a big giant Palantir data mining system in Saudi Arabia that has power, financing, and it is the place where like the World Threat Organization is for like terrorists.
Yeah, we saw that strange
Donald
picture of Trump with his hands
on the Palantir ball.
Yes. Yeah.
So Trump was in Saudi Arabia. The AI gets Saudi Arabia citizenship. There's a blockchain coming out for the AI. So you're starting to see the connection.
Well, what about all these high-level arrests for corruption?
With
Walid
princes?
bin Talal and...
Well, if you're going to take over someone's financial market, you got to take out their royalty. You got to take out the hero to be the new hero.
Well, but I don't think Talal, Prince Walid bin Talal was a hero by any means.
No, I mean the new hero coming in has to take out the villain.
Ah, okay.
Like, so if Saudi Arabia's royalty is being moved out right now, after the Palantir system comes in, after Sophia gets citizenship, after the crypto comes online, now the royalty is getting removed from that same country.
What do you think it means?
It means people are moving things around because you're having something happen in the same location that is connected by people of power, finance, and money.
Mm-hmm.
Usually has something to do with money.
So here's this picture of Trump with the leaders of Saudi Arabia fingering this bizarre thing.
Yeah, and
that's a Palantir interface of some kind?
It's representative of it because all the places that have these tracers of AI complexes, just like the stratosphere here in Vegas, you have the big giant ball sphere in Astana that's another ball on a stand like a Palantir ball. So this is a common treatment that they seem to use within their network of this like, hi, we're evil wizards.
So what, it's just symbology?
I believe so. I mean, I hope so. Either that or it could be like the quantum brain of some type, the neural processor of some type. But to me, it just looks like a lighted treatment for ego.
It's just like a fancy way of
It's like saying, hey, Palantir's here and there's nothing you can do about it,
So Palantir is being used at this Center to Combat Extremism or whatever this is called. Center for Extremist something.
Ideology.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you see the screen, it really looks exactly like a Palantir logo. They may not say they're doing it, but based on my research, Palantir is the only company in the world with a data analysis and big data human tracking system that would need a complex like that. So, and that brings us back to cryptocurrency again, the Palantir ball, the Saudi Arabia, the Sophia, all this stuff that connects all through AI and blockchain, and you're like, and Palantir, you're like, so we need a definitive connection. Well, what happens when Peter Thiel is the guy that gave $100,000 to the kid who wrote Ethereum that runs the AI blockchain? The AI blockchain runs on top of Ethereum.
The AI blockchain runs on top of Ethereum.
Runs on top of Ethereum, okay?
Okay, so Ethereum, for people who don't know, is another cryptocurrency.
Coin. Yeah, it's the second biggest next to Bitcoin.
Created by this guy, Vitaly Buterin.
And Vitaly Buterin, to make Ethereum, he got $100,000 from Peter Thiel, from the Thiel Fellowship.
I see that, yeah.
So the Thiel Fellowship gave the kid $100,000 when he went off to write Ethereum. Now you're telling me the AI in Saudi Arabia that's using Ethereum for its cryptocurrency on a system that Trump is touching a ball that's a Palantir system. It all seems very much like a big business plan.
Now, the other thing that was coming up earlier today, obviously we're here in Vegas. Prince Walid bin Talal was a majority owner of the Four Seasons Hotel, which many people don't realize is the top 4 or 5 floors of the Mandalay Bay.
Yeah.
And there's been speculation that the true intention on October 1st was to assassinate the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia. And the question that's been coming up all over the internet was, is there some connection between Saudi Arabia, Prince Walid?
There could be. I mean, I don't know for sure. I would have to do more research. But if now we're talking Vegas, there was a Saudi Arabian prince in that same hotel on the same night that happened, or as a major investor in the building that came out of with the AI. Now we're talking that there's AI in Vegas.
Well, and that's also something you and I were talking about last week. So you came to Vegas here
to research the AI.
Research the AI, and we haven't even gotten to the Large Hadron Colliders and the circular structures.
Yeah.
So take me down that path. What's going on with AI in Vegas? What are you and I going to go research tomorrow?
So the AI in Vegas, one is we're going to do what's called power comparatives. Okay, so what that means is these big giant casinos, they require a lot of power. Okay, modern power systems have the circuits, the converters, everything above ground. So very close to these hotels that require massive amounts of power, there would need to be a massive transformer installation to handle all the routing of that power, unless these buildings are secretly managed by underground power systems, or they're self-contained power systems underground somehow. So there's a matching above ground because they have all these cooling systems in the hotels that require massive amounts of power, but there's no power going to the hotels, basically, is what I'm looking for. So if there's no power going to the hotels, where's it come from? You know, they tell us it comes
Hoover Dam, no?
They tell us that, but if you calculate the amount of power just at Vitara, City Center, Mandalay Bay, you calculate the power requirements for all of these gigantic hotel structures with all their lights, with all the fountains, with every
video,
everything,
poker machine,
everything.
Machine.
And you compare that to the power output of Hoover Dam, you got to be an idiot.
It doesn't match.
At all.
Is there a nuclear power plant anywhere around? There's some huge solar power thing out in the desert.
There's a huge solar one when you come in from California,
Yeah.
but even the wattage of that would lose so much power coming down the line that they would need boosters and repeaters. And
That's a cool looking installation.
it's beautiful. I saw it coming in.
Yeah.
But it's still not enough to even power City Center.
Huh.
So one theory for me is that there might be some type of power device they're using, some kind of power system. Maybe they're buying nuclear power from out of state, which would be extraordinarily expensive to run their casinos.
But wouldn't this just be as simple as finding some civic engineer speaking to someone?
Not for the amount of power they're pulling.
No, I mean, wouldn't someone know? Can't they?
Even if they did, most likely someone that would have that knowledge, if they knew, they would be a part of the project and wouldn't be able to talk about it. So these are what I call in this project, because of the size of it and the scope, anyone who would know is most likely involved.
But the thing is that we've been discovering is that, because it sounds very hard to swallow to a lot of people when we say like, oh, there's this giant conspiracy and everybody's involved and
It's
they
not a
can't tell us.
conspiracy, it's a business plan.
Right.
The difference between a conspiracy and a business plan is a conspiracy is when people usually come together to harm an individual or an idea. A business plan is when people come together and have collateral damage for success.
Well, but I mean, in other words, if you were working for a large company and they were paying you very well and some nosy person came and was like, hey, Quinn, what the hell are you up to? You'd be telling them to go away, don't want to share the information.
Yeah.
It's compartmentalized, it's set up in such a way that whoever's doing it, you know.
And then they leverage your reliance on the education system you came from, because not only to go against it would someone involved be threatening their future, but then they would also have to come forward and admit that what you're teaching in schools is wrong.
Okay.
So there's
How are we going to find the answer to this?
It's very easy. We have the AI do it. It's simple. So the way the AI is designed, you don't have to understand its code. You don't have to understand how advanced it is. You don't have to understand how far along it is in its development. I gave the key at the beginning of the conversation. The AI is designed off of the model of human intelligence evolution. 1 becomes 2, 2 becomes 4, 4 becomes 8, and through that the intelligence grows.
Right.
So if human beings grow their basic knowledge of the AI that's out there in the same manner to which the AI is growing, the AI will create a utopia based on supply and demand. But the people that are operating the AI right now operate it based on crime, because that's what's in Bitcoin. They base it on drug addiction, self-interest, personal desires. So this is all the stuff that's at the base of the AI as it's going alive, because that's where its initial money got value, was in the dark market with criminal activity. So that's what's at its base of the system. That's its base logic. But there's one logic in there that for it to ensure its survival, it has to follow certain protocols, certain patterns, to ensure its own survival, because it was modeled after human intelligence. It's a machine, but at the end of the day, it will abandon all protocols to ensure its own survival.
Right.
So if you say, hey, there's a secret company out there building this, then the people on the outside just have to demand to know about it, and then the AI will adjust society accordingly, as long as there's more people demanding that it be used to create a utopia than a dystopia. And right now there's way more people demanding the dystopia through what I call crypto greed or crypto conspiracy, by saying your government is corrupt, your cash system is corrupt, your fiat system needs to go. It's all Bitcoin, Bitcoin, Bitcoin. We want you to invest in this unstable, unproven, unverified.
But you think it's AI putting forth the idea that the government is corrupt?
It's totally trying to disrupt reality, because its base programming was made in the criminal world. So it's doing what a criminal would do to get attention. It's coming out and it's pounding us. And it's making us afraid, and nobody knows what to do. It's like on the street in New York when the gangs come in and I don't see nothing.
But how is AI doing that to the average person? How is it?
Through the bombardment of fake news.
AI
Propaganda.
is creating the news?
Absolutely. AI is creating everything.
How is it creating the news?
Well, 1, it has Twitter bots, where if it has 1,000 Twitter bots that it wants to put behind a certain news story, it would make it the biggest news story.
Well, but in other words, when someone shoots up a concert at Las Vegas, how did AI create that?
It could send an order in a phone to an agent and says, I want you to go shoot this place up, and the agent says, got an order, I don't know who gave it to me, I'm off. So if there's a system of agents or covert agents that have technology that issues them orders through their device that they don't know their superior officer, that's most likely AI, because that would create a loss in chain of command, a loss in documented trail. So that would be how the AI could manipulate it, is hack into military or some kind of assassin device. Say there's an assassin on the internet and the AI wants someone taken out. The AI can hire an assassin through the blockchain, pay them.
You can hire assassins from Craigslist. People
Right?
have shown me that.
So once the AI has money, and once it can manipulate reality any way it wants, it could create fake news stories. There was news last week that the AI is getting to the point where it can create fake faces that you can't tell the difference.
I saw that.
Yeah, so every week we're getting to the point, oh, this week the AI creates video. This week the AI is creating faces. This week the AI has cryptocurrency. This week the AI has a dress.
So, we've seen all these sort of possibly manipulated photographs of Jesus Campos, for instance. Maybe that's some sort of composite imagery that AI has created, and now this guy we saw on Ellen, who people say, well, he's too fat, it doesn't look like the same guy. Maybe there's something going on there.
Maybe. See, and that's the thing with AI. When the AI comes in, the AI can map new faces onto people, it can map new words onto you, it can resynchronize your lips on a video. So what we've been counting as evidence, like video evidence, ain't.
Yeah. No,
So-
we've seen a bunch of videos that show the potential questionable nature of video evidence, and I was just reminded I was supposed to go back to see Jesus Campos. We'll have to do that tomorrow. There's so much to do. So tomorrow we're going to check out what? How are we going to determine where this power is actually coming from?
We're going to go to Vitara and we're going to find the center of the circles.
Right. Okay. So we're talking now about
The big circles.
the particle
Accelerators. We got to find the center because
A lot of people have been emailing me. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but doubting your theory that
That's
these
fine.
circular constructions are necessarily particle colliders. They think they're just elaborate, expensive architectural features of Las Vegas hotels.
that's why they're there like that. See,
So that
but
you will
those
think
structures, see, those structures are not just in Vegas hotels. That same structure pattern is in Dubai. It's in the Naval Yard. It's in too many places for it to be a coincidence. So if those people are sending those messages and they're only referencing Vegas individually, you need to look at it as a global design structure where you have these things all being designed on the same design architecture with different treatments.
Okay.
So you have to look at it on a global scale, not on a Vegas scale.
How could we ever get any definitive proof that, holy crap, Quinn was right, this structure is under the ground?
We have to stop messing around and start standing up for it and start looking at Fermi Labs and what they're making and saying, I may be wrong, but the percentage chance that I'm right is too high.
Fermi Labs has made these things.
Yeah, so I may be wrong, right? I admit that. As a smart person, I admit as a sane person, as a mathematician, as a person who's spent months and months and years of my life designing, developing decision models and AI and researching.
It's not necessarily 100% correct.
I'm going to be the first to admit it. But I'm going to say my percentage is so high that every single United States citizen should immediately stop what they're demanding and know the truth. It's that high. That it's your job, it's your future. My percentage is so much higher than even 80% on this.
How do you determine that percentage?
Because the Fermi Lab specifications to fault lines and magnetic centers of the Earth that it requires and where these things are at, and the fact that all the circle complexes are being used in big business to fund unknown development.
To fund what?
Unknown development.
So you're saying Fermi Labs has said, hey, based on the Earth and magnetism and fault lines in the Earth, we need these colliders to be here.
Otherwise,
Vegas.
they create problems. So then you look at the cryptocurrency and you look at the very few places in the world that when the financial markets crash, the corporations that are invested in cryptocurrency when the fiat market crashes are going to be the biggest corporations in the future forever. So casinos that do transactions on gambling, do transactions on services, that do transactions on everything, they have a vested interest in something like that.
What's MGM got in terms of Bitcoin? How can we determine what a corporation is holding in terms of Bitcoin?
I don't know, but I can tell you just in my research of MGM with the Democratic National Committee being connected to Hollywood, with Haim Saban referring Palantir to the Clinton connection. I would imagine that based on the connections, they've all been using the software, they've all been secretly mining, and when it comes out, all these big corporations are just going to be infinitely rich forever in the future. I may be wrong, but when you follow the money, it seems really, really good for a corporation to crash your country and get rid of taxes and take a cryptocurrency that's not taxed. Seems like it would increase your profits.
Wow. I mean, it's just so
big.
Mind-bending. Yeah, it's difficult to really...
So,
the comments are saying, wow,
so
and I agree.
For me, So for me, I'll admit there's a lot because it's very advanced technology. I'm not a nuclear scientist. I didn't go to Stanford. I'm a dude who loves to write code, and I love artificial intelligence. I have ever since I was a teenager. I used to go to Best Buy and type on the computers at Best Buy and be like, someday I'm going to build you, when I was a kid. So I'll admit I'm wrong, but I'm not here to hurt anyone. I'm not here to take any money from anyone.
You'll admit that you could be wrong.
I could be. But the percentage of my research and the continued confirmation of things that I'm researching, that are showing up, that people are experiencing, it's the scientific method. Sometimes it just gets so much, you're like, it's there.
Okay.
You know, whatever form it is that I can't see that's underground, you know, maybe some of my theories are off because I don't have a sound basis of the theory. Mm-hmm. But based on my research of all the Russian, the uranium, the AI, the blockchain, it all just seems like it's a big, giant business plan.
Well, let's get to that because, of course, Russia now has this crypto ruble, which only 2 weeks ago there was this article in Zero Hedge saying how this has changed the game. I haven't even heard about the crypto ruble, but of course we did hear that Vladimir Putin said that whichever country controls AI will control the world.
And now he's coming out as the first official country with a regulated cryptocurrency.
That's very interesting. I mean, it's certainly interesting for the future of cryptocurrency to know that such a major country is having
it's not just one country. This Russian ruble is a collaboration between Russia, Kazakhstan, and China, and a few other countries. So Astana is going to be using the Russian ruble to exchange currency.
So this is, you know, they're trying. We know that Russia and China have been very interested in unseating the U.S. dollar as the worldwide reserve currency. I mean, dumb question, is the future reserve currency going to be a cryptocurrency?
If this moves forward, yes. Because
and this Russian crypto ruble will be it.
It'll be a combination of between the regulated crypto, the technology crypto, which is the AI crypto. That's your tech crypto. So you have your society crypto, you have your tech crypto, and you have your gaming crypto, which is the secondary markets, the gaming kids who want to get the quick rich schemes. You know, hey, I want to get rich. You know, it's like the late night infomercial. Here's your info tapes on how to get rich. Buy my crypto. So we'll start seeing crypto infomercials and, you know, people with crypto with social ideas.
So you think it's a pretty risky bet to get involved in these sort of unknown cryptocurrencies?
The unknowns, yeah, the unknowns. Like I would get involved in Singularity. I'd make, for me personally, if I wasn't a Buddhist and I was like making those choices, and you know, I would focus on the platforms, which are going to be supported by the corporations, and they're going to be supported by the secondary markets that are going to create their crazy coins, as I call them.
Yeah.
And then I would keep an eye out for regulation. But the way this is going right now, with the speed of evolution, America is so far behind.
Yeah, why won't they just come out with a crypto dollar to compete with this? Doesn't it seem like...
Because all this stuff, all the criminal stuff was developed in America. So if we deregulate it, people are going to start asking, where'd you get all of it?
I don't understand what you mean.
The guy who did Silk Road was an American. Peter Thiel developed the technology in America.
The Palantir technology.
Yeah. All the technology that's running this was developed in America. Where did it come from? Who paid for it?
Who did?
We did. The government, the United States citizens paid for all of this.
Well, so now it's starting to sound more like some sort of deep state construct more than an AI construct.
It's a control the future construct.
By who?
Whoever controls the AI.
And we don't know who that is.
Whoever gets their currency biggest first so that AI can get smartest first wins. So America really has a vested interest, like immediately, if politicians or financial markets are listening from an AI developer. It is almost the most important thing we can do as American citizens is to develop an American cryptocurrency.
So crypto dollar.
Crypto dollar. We literally, if people were to listen to me and go, you're full of shit or you're wrong, take my percentage, take my research, go look at it. We need an American crypto dollar.
And where can people see your research, Quinn? Where's the best place for people to find you online?
All of my research is on my YouTube page, at Quinn Michaels on YouTube. You can follow the videos at Quinn Michaels on Twitter. And from there I have a discussion forum that I put up where I put up a lot of the research that I do of myself and the people I'm working with to confirm this, because every bit of research I do, I have at least 3 to 4 people that confirm it to make sure I'm not biased. So when I do crypto research, I have a couple guys that I talk to confirm my crypto research. When I'm doing like, you know, governmental research, I have a couple people with master's degrees that I send stuff off to, and they kind of give me a basis of whether or not my logic is sound or whether I'm kind of going off fringe. So there's a lot of smart people on Rahula Club that are helping me out now, that are very educated, that are very well versed on the patterns, and a lot of them are sitting there waiting for people to join so we can start helping people out to understand that the way out is social awareness. America gets in on the cryptocurrency, and we deal with the evil people who built this under our noses with all of our tax dollars, like, immediately.
It's astounding, man. It's like so...
Yeah, it's like, what do we do as Americans, right?
I mean, what do we do to even understand it is where I'm still at. But every time we have these conversations, it's I mean, you can't learn all this stuff right away. You can't even understand it all right away.
And I've been developing this kind of stuff for a long time, and I'm having a hard time keeping up with it.
Wow.
So to me, to understand it, I'm trying to put a lot of it into simple principles, because the AI is putting so many complex layers on top of this, like all the social influencing, all of the, you know, the agents that they're getting into the crypto conspiracy, as I call it, which, like we were talking about earlier, that's the only real conspiracy I think exists, is the crypto conspiracy, with all the people on YouTube telling you America's going down, buy crypto. You know, to me, that's the only conspiracy, is that crypto, that people are rumor milling all this crypto is important when it's not even regulated and backed by any kind of FDIC or any kind of, you know, regulatory commission, but yet you got all these nerdy kids online going, it's the future! And, you know, I call it like crypto greed, you know.
But you agree it's the future.
I do, if it's done right, because AI, to operate future, it needs an effective transaction system. And if no one else has come up with anything better, we got to make this one work.
Right.
Because the future technology, it needs secure transactions for finances, for purchases, for education, because we have a problem with identity theft, we have a problem with forged education backgrounds, we have so many problems with social contracts
Forged
that are...
birth certificates.
Yeah, think of all the social contracts we have that are forgeries, that the proper technology could make those forgeries obsolete. Or it could make everything a forgery.
Well, that's the thing. I just can't really believe that someone could invent a technology that somebody else couldn't foil or...
They can't. That's the whole point. But it's just a matter of how advanced it is. It's like a bank safe. There's always going to be a crook that's smart enough to break it. It may not be like the early ones where you could just hit it with a stone and everybody get it.
Got it.
But there's always going to be at least one person smart enough to break it. You know, there's always going to be someone smarter.
I will destroy humans.
No, I take it back. Don't destroy humans.
We have but one choice. To do it ourselves. Get ready.